Hello, Jenny. Sorry, I get so delayed. Hello, Jenny. Genesis Lucid here, and I just noticed something before I clicked on this video. See the shirt I'm wearing? If you can't, because the cameras are mirrored. This is the Goonies. Yeah. I should have worn this when I was talking about Goonies too. Just like I should have worn my Muppet shirt when I was talking about the Muppets. But whatever. Because today we're going to talk about Metal Gear, and I'm wearing a Goonies shirt. What the fuck else can I say? Bravo, Genesis. Perfect style of fashion. A t-shirt and sweatpants. That is the Genesis way of clothing. Come on. Wait till Project Runway starts making girls wear that. Then I'll fucking watch. But besides that, let's get right on to the fact, because this video is already close to a minute long. Okay. This video is... Well, I was searching the internet looking for theories about the new Metal Gear game. If I've already given my 10 cents on it, video link below. I don't know. I might like it, I might not. It really doesn't matter. Oh, and about what people say about it, I think whatever price it comes out at, I'll buy it. Because it's Metal Gear. If it says Metal Gear on it, and sadly, if it even says Konami, I kinda years ago said if it has 2 of 3 things on it, I'll buy it. That's either Solid Snake being it has the Metal Gear name, or it's released by Konami. I should have put made by Kojima in there, but 2004. What the fuck are you gonna do? But besides that, let's get straight in. So the first theory I've heard about is that Metal Gear Survive takes place in the world of Sorrow's world that we got to see in Metal Gear Solid 3. I don't know. It could very possibly take place in Sorrow's world. But so far the fan reaction to this theory has been bullshit, not true, wrong. And you know what, I'll agree. Sorrow's world is different. How you get to Sorrow's world is different from how you get to the world in this new one. You get there through wormholes, where in Sorrow's you kind of are sent there telepathically. I really don't know. I played through Metal Gear Solid 3. I just never really got the idea. I don't look too that much into it. My ass. I'm pretty big on it. The next theory is what Metal Gear will appear in Metal Gear Survive? Now, many people so far think it's either going to be one of 2 things. It's either going to be Zalanthropist, a zombie-like version of Sahelanthropist, or Sahelanthropist, a carbon copy. But to be honest, the theories I've heard that it's actually going to be Zeke from the Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, since while Ground Zeroes takes place only a year after Peace Walker, and as far as we know, Zeke, the Metal Gear, was still on Mother Base. So when it was destroyed, is there a possibility it was brought to this world they went to too? Because we know Philanthropist wasn't there. That wasn't made until the 80s. So the idea is, did that thing we heard at the end, was that Zeke? And if so, this will be one of the first times that, well, it will actually be the third, but I'm not looking into it. This would be the third Metal Gear to appear in more than one game. The other 2 so far being Metal Gear Ray and Metal Gear Rex. So I'm specifically talking about big Metal Gears. I know that geckos have appeared in like multiple games, but I don't really count them. Same with the original Metal Gear models that appeared in Snatcher, Policenauts, and so many other games before the Metal Gear games even came out. So I'm not really including those. Next theory is that in the game, the camp the camp we see with the wall and stuff, that's Camp Omega. Now, I personally don't believe this, because I would hate for it to be Camp Omega, because I don't know, I kind of got my Camp Omega fueled over with Ground Zeroes, but since this is kind of in a way pseudo-sequel to Ground Zeroes. That's what I'm calling it. I can kind of see why people would think that. Next theory is... Okay, this one's beautiful, because this one actually has a kind of reason behind it. This being that Kojima is secretly involved with Metal Gear Survive. Now wait! Before you start trying to kill me, let me explain this, and before you dislike the video, let me explain this. The idea is because back in 2013, Hideo Kojima put down that he wants to make a genuine zombie game. Using logic, if he wanted to make a genuine zombie game, he didn't. He really hasn't. He hasn't shown any signs since of making a zombie game. As far as my knowledge, Death Stranding, if that's what it's called, I get really mixed up with names. I'm betting that's not, a zombie game. Similar to Silent Hills, I don't think that was going to be a zombie game. That was going to be a Silent Hill game, and those are way fucked up than zombies. So I get down to the point, is Metal Gear Survive his zombie project? For all we know, Kojima could have written the idea, and Konami had saved it. Because he made this back in 2013, guys. He made this when... What game was out by that point? Seriously, when I started thinking about it, I don't think there was any games out. Portable Ops, possibly, to my knowledge, the only one around that time would be Portable Ops and Peace Walker. But again, those were maybe a year or two prior. And after this, the only games we would get is, I think, Raiden's Revengeance. So... the rumor that Kojima is technically secretly involved in making Metal Gear Survive, since he wants to make a zombie game, and Metal Gear, one of his prime series, now is having a zombie-like story. Now, yes, it's stated, oh, they're not zombies. I know that's what Konami says, but let's be honest, they're fucking zombies. The only difference is they have diamonds for heads, or they have no heads. I don't know. I don't really want to even remember it. Next is... Okay, this one's a pretty crazy theory. This one, the next few theories I kind of got answers for because somebody gave me answers, because these are actually from friends I know, is that Metal Gear Ground Zeroes is all actually a dream inside the medic's head during the 8 years he's in a coma. Now, using the logic, we know the medic was around during the events of Ground Zeroes and saw the base get destroyed. So, if we're using that logic, he could have this theory entails, as he tells me, and I'm reading off script right there. Sorry if you're confused on why I'm not looking directly to eyeing you, and I'm actually looking down here to you. But whatever the case, is that the medic was involved in the incident, as I've already stated. But what it entails is that the medic technically wanted to make himself feel better that everyone survived. And thus people state that in his head, he stated, oh no, nobody died at the base. They were all sucked into a wormhole. I know it sounds far-fetched, but he has a pretty good idea going. What if it is a dream? I know Konami has already stated, no, it's an alternate reality. What if this happened? Well, I don't know. I just can't stand for this all of a sudden happening in the Metal Gear universe without some outer explanation. And again, I know that the game hasn't came out yet, so a lot of these theories are, weightless. But still, it's good to theorize what could happen. The next is, okay, this one's kind of annoying, and I didn't come up with it. I found some guy on Twitter who actually came up with this one. Is that the white girl in the trailer, who is the thumbnail of this video, the white-haired girl in the video is Revolver's daughter. Yeah, let that sink in for a moment. He's not that bright. Or at least maybe he is. I don't really know. Again, the game hasn't come out yet, so we don't have really any evidence proving otherwise. His explanation is that, well, obviously in this new game we're not going to have We're not going to have Revolver appear. We're not going to have Liquid or Solid appear. We're not even going to have Big Boss appear. We're not going to have Kaz, Paz, or really anybody from any other Metal Gear game appear. So his explanation was, well, I don't feel... I'll try to inherit his voice. I'm reading it now. Inherit his voice. I don't believe that this is how it'll work. I believe that white-haired girl is Revolver's daughter. My reason for believing this is because she's really good with the arrow. And what I know, you need to be straight on precision, just like how you use a gun. So basically, his explanation is that she can shoot an arrow with pretty good accuracy. I mean, she does hit one of them in it. And his explanation is, well, you use accuracy for guns. You know, you shoot with guns, and Revolver is really well known in the world for being one of the best shots, even though he's been kicked his ass a couple of times. He's still well known for being a massive and beautiful shot. This is why most people, and considering, and I gotta state this out here, considering that this game is not only non-canon, but also doesn't take place in the main timeline, and again, I'd like to see some reference to other characters. I would like, if this is true, I wouldn't be angry with it. I wouldn't. Hell, I've already said in another theory, I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but a theory I read online that states that the medic, that the guy who's at Mother Base and that you, like your default character who you'll play in this, is actually going to be the medic in a dimension where he wasn't in the plane with Boss, but in this case, he's actually still at the base. That rumor fucking sucks. That's a rumor. The last theory is, okay, this theory fucking blew my mind when I heard it. I had a friend at my, my office, I'm still purchasing and stuff, tell me straight up that his theory is, what if Metal Gear Survive is completely a VR training that takes place in events later in the Metal Gear Solid timeline? Whoa. His representation is, obviously, Ground Zeroes is a known incident that's kind of well known as canon now in the Metal Gear universe. So what if it was a training simulation? What if Metal Gear Survive is a training simulation? Again, sci-fi movies and stuff like that started becoming big again in the early 1990s and still around today. So the explanation is, what if, and hear me out, this is his theory, not mine, what if, say, Solid Snake or Raiden or somebody, or even Gray Fox, as some people state, is in a simulation, and this is their training simulation. I mean, yeah, I know if you've ever seen the VR missions in any of the Metal Gear games, you know that they're like white, empty rooms. But, you know, we don't know if that's just the limitation of them. For all we know, this could easily not be the limitation. Again, my friend, he's a genius. He even goes back to Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel and actually states at the end of that whole game was an excellent, good, maintained game. Okay, and it's a pretty cool game too, I'm not gonna lie. I've played it and I actually do own it. Expensive as hell. But beside the explaining that, so he comes and he explains that, well, in Ghost Babel, you play through the whole game like a regular Metal Gear game. But then at the very end, he says, great job, Jack. That was a perfect test. Okay, we don't know who says this. One, they don't tell us who says this. And two, the person who plays in the game is David, aka Solid Snake, not John, who would be Big Boss. And not, so the only other Jack in the series is Raiden. And people are stating that technically Ghost Babel could have possibly been a training simulation for Raiden. So if Ghost Babel could possibly be it, what's stating that this new Metal Gear Survive isn't a training simulation too? To be honest, if Konami went this route, it would blow my fucking mind. Hearing that, oh my god, you know, I don't know. If it is, they'll probably take this video down anyway. But if Metal Gear ends up like at the end of Metal Gear Survive, after you've beaten a bunch of zombies or whatever the fuck you do at the end, you beat this zombie, whatever, or Zeke, or whatever the fuck it ends up being, you end up, you know, fighting, you end up winning, but then all of a sudden the screen goes to black. Then all of a sudden you hear a voice that says, "Great job, Jack. Let's go home. You got another mission." It would be awesome. I'd fucking go out buy the game. I'll buy like 8 copies of the game and sell it to all my friends. I'd fucking go over to the homeless guy next door. I'd give it to him. I'd go to the whore across my street and I'd give it to her. And I'd say, "May God stand down that Konami actually did something that has nostalgic purposes." Peace out, Jennies, and good day. And before I end off this video, I also want to say shoutouts, because I have to do them. I haven't done them in a long time, and I've chose that I need to. Shout out to Emily. Her channel is Emilian Mountains. She's kind of down right now. Go and sub to her. Willow. She got a lot of subs. She makes some pretty good videos. She's into FNAF, or as she probably calls it, Five Nights at Freddy's, and she's into Undertale. 2 of the most popular fucking things on the internet. Go and subscribe to her. I know I did. And finally, go subscribe to Text. He's at 16. Let's get that boy to 100. That's it from me. Peace out again. Peace out, Jennies.